I'm not going to try to turn around in this gravel. Got enough stuff going on around here. See how all this stuff works. So, it's supposed to rain later. If I stay out too long, it'll rain. I have my rain gear. It's also not exactly the hottest of the last 3 days, but still. It's been a day where it's been around 28 degrees. Nice outfit. I mean, it is a nice outfit. It looks very nice on her. A little too short for me as a parent. Another 2 or 3 inches and probably would have felt it was a little bit more appropriate. Also reiterate the fact that when I see beautiful women, even beautiful young women, I do have a sense of envy. It's one of the things that I deal with. I've had to deal with for most of my life is that sense of envy. Realized, took me a long time to realize that a lot of the feelings I had towards women, it was not actually emotional, sexual, whatever attraction. It was envy. Was it attracted to the look? Attracted to the look. Sorry about that. You know, and the kind of sensing of who I am, what I feel, that kind of stuff. Anyways. It's just one of those things. Even to this day, I still see beautiful women, and I still have a big sense of envy because it's just something I will never, I can hope to achieve. But, 50 years old, I had a lot of, I've had a lot of testosterone and maleness has had its negative effects on my body. Because it's very difficult to overcome. Because you can't undo. Again, different outlook in life. I was actually listening to somebody on YouTube talking about the fact that unless things change, they'll never have bottom surgery. And the thing is it does not define a woman. It doesn't define being transgender or a transgender woman. It doesn't define them. But one of the more common, and what a lot of people expect, is that people will have gender reassignment surgery or bottom surgery. And some people, they can almost doesn't matter what they do, the only thing they need is that, because having the wrong genitals is a thing that hurts. Some people, it's more emotional and interactional, and it's about how people see them, how people interact with them. So those people don't always necessarily need to have bottom surgery. Some of them choose not to, but this young lady said that part of her dysphoria, part of the thing that when she looks down and sees what she was born with, part of her dysphoria is the ability to not be able to bear children. And believe me, I would love to have, given birth to my own children. I would love to have that experience. To me, that's part of being a woman, and I don't want to be like a woman. I've never felt like a woman. I feel like I am a woman, and I feel that. I can't experience. I haven't been able to experience everything that womanhood normally entails, or typically entails, or whatever. And a lot of, there are cisgender people, those people that body aligns with their identity, who themselves don't want children, can't have children, don't have a uterus, don't have ovaries, don't have all this stuff, don't have that ability. It doesn't make them any less of a woman. So anyways, I see a lot of this stuff is I would still like to have experienced it, to have that experience. Anyways, for this young lady on YouTube, she says, well, basically, there's no sense in I'm sorry. There's no sense in her going through the process of having bottom surgery if she can't actually have children. What's the point? If she can't go from having a male genitalia to female genitalia and not actually being able to use it properly or experience everything that having that is meant, then she just doesn't want to go through the process. And if she can continue to live and accept living without doing that because of what it means, and, her experiences mean more, then that's a good thing for her. That's the way she wants to live, and I respect that. I guess some of us are a little different. I couldn't spend the rest of my life that way. I couldn't spend the rest of my life looking and seeing something that shouldn't have been there. And even if that meant that I could never have children, because in the previous part of my life, I did have children. I took part in that process. I just wasn't the one that gave birth. So I've raised my children. I've been there for them as a parent. I've experienced as much as I can. So all that to say is that I was able to kind of live within, I guess, within those feelings, within that context. So it's funny, I'm just thinking back to the 10 minutes or so since I started this and think, how did I get on this subject? So I guess just different perspectives of life, and that each perspective and each experience is just as valuable and is just as valid. So anyways, I'm pretty happy where I am in my life. I guess things aren't as up in the air and indistinct as they were on the weekend and at the beginning of the week. It's funny because I guess it's the state of mind you're in. I spent a little while, working through schoolwork this week. We're all supposed to have our work up and kind of ready for people to look at and whatnot on Tuesday. I've been kind of leading most of the way on that stuff, taking the leadership role. Again, not something I really wanted to, because to me it's a bit too of a masculine thing, too much of a man thing, too much of a military officer thing, and that's not me. Kind of never was. So anyways, at one point I thought we were actually meeting again on Wednesday with a few people, and that got postponed. Ouch, route closed, local traffic only. I guess I should have noted that. Cat. Okay. And anyways, all that to say is it was postponed. So, but the thing is on I think it was supposed to be on Wednesday night. Wednesday, yes. Today's Thursday. But the thing is on Wednesday, I accomplished things. Yay! I accomplished things. Very important is for me is to accomplish things, to feel like I've made some progress. And I'm about to do another Medium article where I believe I'm going to be talking about progress, or measuring, progress, and how we consider successes in life and whatever. But I had progress. So the fact is by having a canceled appointment at later in the afternoon, I think I found out at like 5:30 that They actually wanted to have it on Friday when they get more people, and again, positive, more people at the next group session. I can live with that. I'm happy with that. It's a good reason to have, take the time and have more people. But I had progress, therefore the day felt complete, and I had no problems, waiting until, waiting, because my whole day wasn't, surrounded by that. My whole day wasn't botched up just because one thing was missed. And that's what happened last weekend on that solo ride I had, because it was about it messed up 2 days. So and then it's funny because today's another one of those days, because today we're supposed to have a board meeting for our condominium that I'm in, and I'm one of the people on the board. Volunteered, haven't been elected. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any of that. For the next session. So, but it was canceled, and I only found out that about an hour or two ago. Now, granted, far enough in advance that, once again, today I've accomplished things. I finished reading, done all the readings for this week in school. I added a few notes into our group document. I felt like I accomplished things. So once again, at the end of the day, the whole thing wasn't, a measure of just, did I, oh boy, gravel. It wasn't, again, measured on, the whole day wasn't revolving around one specific event happening, and if that didn't happen, then I didn't feel a failure. So that's it. It's just as simple as that. As I said, and it's interesting because recognizing these things, recognizing that this is something that I have to work through, and my therapist would be going, "Good for you, Catherine. Good for you, Kat. Well done. You recognize that," but I can kind of manage myself. I can manage my expectations. I can manage my may even manage my schedule. I can look at myself and say, well, how can I organize myself? Like, on a day where I think everything is going to be oriented around one specific task, and if that falls through, maybe I need to have alternative things I can do to say, oh, if this doesn't happen, then I'm going to do this, and then I can feel good about myself. We're our own, worst critic. We're our own worst enemy. So if I figure out how to manage myself, I get less anxiety, less depression, less emotions, and I can cope better. as I said, it's just simply learning how to deal with myself. So, even this is kind of a reward. You know, I got a few things done. I'm not worried about my schedule tonight. It's gonna rain, so get out when it's a little cooler.